Hi, a quick tutorial of Route 101. These strats, I'm telling you, can give you a 213. I'm doing this by showing you an own recording from my stream. I don't unfortunately have a better quality recording, um, but that'll do. So first of all, before we start basic mechanics, as soon as you reach max speed, you wanna, so max speed is after driving downhill or after boosting. As soon as that happens, you want to start drifting, and you keep that drift for the entire level, because the speed cap while drifting is as high as when you drive downhill or boost, and from regular driving it's slower. So just keep your drift, and you can keep your speed whenever. And by collecting rings, if you get certain numbers of rings, you get boosts. And you use these boosts whenever you slow down by going uphill ideally, or as backup when you hit a car or crash into something. But I'm gonna show you the ideal ring strats right here now. So first of all, the first boring straight beginning, you don't drift because you're not at max speed yet. And we collect all rings until a certain point. So here it goes downhill, here we start drifting. And this first boost doesn't really matter. I prefer using it here, but it doesn't make a huge difference. Of course, you want to try cutting corners as close as possible. So we get all of this double line, and we skip the balloon on the left. And then we get all those rings. And now ideally we have 58 rings. If we don't have 58 rings, we can get backup rings from the double line here to the left, but it's a bit tricky to get them. You can do it with a bit of practice, so it's pretty easy to grab one or two rings if you're one or two short. The ideal number you want to have coming onto this spot is 58 or 59. Yeah, so if you have if you missed a ring and you have like 57 or so, you can just grab those two. These are pretty easy to grab. And then you have 59 and you're good. Anyways, this boost you currently have, you use that right after this hill before this turn, and then you go around this turn. And now this line of rings will get you over 60 rings and give you another boost, which you use right away as well. Then you grab this balloon and these rings. You skip out on this ramp because it's really slow. It slows you down a whole lot. Don't ever go that ramp, it's terrible. Also, it cancels your drift as well, which is probably even worse because then you're really slow and don't have drift. Yeah, then you go towards this and you want to boost right away as soon as you land from that jump. And now this next turn is pretty important because there's a line of rings that you really want to get to the right. So what I usually do is I let go of A really quickly when going into this turn. You don't necessarily need to do that if you have a really good turn, but it makes it safer. So I start turning about here, where I go to the right, and then I cut that corner pretty close here like that, and then I get those rings. And then you can't really see it in this video, but I collect this double line of rings, and at the end of this double line I get over 110 rings, which gives me another boost, and I use it immediately as I get it. So that I have for this long straight part, I have boost speed. Oh, here is the boost, and here I grab this balloon to have another boost right away, which I don't want to use until the top of this hill. And from now on, as far as rings go, just try to get whatever you can. Nothing really to skip out on anymore. So just get as many as you can. So now there's this double U-turn coming up. It's pretty tricky. You kind of can cut it like the difficult 90 degrees turn from earlier. So start to the very left and try to go as much on the inside as possible. Need some practice actually. So yeah, you kind of go in the middle, and here you can kind of bump into the wall, and then if you have a flat angle, if you don't drive straight onto the wall, um, and you don't really lose speed, so you can kind of in a turn like that, you can kind of hit the wall with an angle, and then it just keeps you on the road without really losing much speed. So you can do that here. Again with this turn, cut it close and then hit that wall a bit. Now here it goes up again, so we boost again. And here it's a bit tricky to collect the upcoming rings, because if you're really fast, there's this car right in the way. So try not to hit that, obviously, and get as many rings as you still possibly can. You don't need to get all of them. If you get all of them, it's better, of course, but you don't need them, because there is rings to the left here, and then you boost right away. Getting this boost, having a boost for here, if you get it earlier from collecting more rings earlier, it's better, because then you don't have to get the rings on the left. But just having a boost for this section is pretty important, because it's straight and long, and there's nothing else to speed you up. So if you don't have a boost here, you lose a lot of time. And then dodge that car, and that's basically it. You get another boost here, which you can use to make sure you have top speed on that area. And yeah, if you did everything right, you're good with a 213.